Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cloud Native Trainer. I'm Mike Kelly and today we'll be talking about how Git works. We will be talking about how we work with remote servers such as GitHub and also what the local workflow is of making changes and then pushing those back to the remote servers, GitHub in this instance. Without any further ado, let's begin. The first concepts to wrap our heads around are the local repository versus remote repository. Nearly everything we do in Git is local. We work with a full copy of our code, but when we want to share our changes, we need to work with a remote copy, which can be cloned by the people we are working with. Typically, this is a Git server like GitHub. Others are available, such as Bitbucket and GitLab. The next concept is the different areas. There are four in a Git workflow, which includes the remote repository, the local repository, which is your .git folder, which tracks your commits, the staging area for code that has been changed but not yet committed, and your working directory, the folder on your computer you're working on, such as in this instance, C repo/web1. In the Git workflow, a typical first action is to clone a remote repository to your local machine. This takes an entire copy of the code and replicates it on your computer for you to work with. Then when we start work, we check the code out, creating a new branch, and we keep in sync with the other changes to the remote repository by doing a git pull. Git pull is a shorthand for two other Git commands, namely git fetch, which fetches any changes from the remote repository, and git merge, which merges them into our local code. Next, when we make a change, let's say we add a new file, we add that to the staging area from our working directory using git add. Once we're happy with the change, we can commit the file to our local repository, and then if we want to share the change with the rest of the team, we can do a git push. Then our colleagues, when they do a git pull, will get those changes in a copy of the repository or in their copy of the repository. And that's how Git works. We do the same commands over and over again, adding code, pulling other people's changes, and working together towards building some software.